You're watching the NZRL Girls National Rugby League final here in Tauranga. I whiti te rā. The sun always shines in Tauranga. I'm a little biased, a little local, a little biased. And they are your under-16s champions. That there is Counties Manukau. Time for the kanikani and waiata for the singing and the dancing. Why wouldn't it be as we count down to the final of the under-18s? Look at that. Who would have thought? I can't remember the last time, Crystal Dotto, that we had a final that was absent of any Auckland teams.
Oh, I was thinking that last night. When I seen these two teams had made the finals, I was like, that is amazing. Last year we seen the Akarana Falcons and the Vulcans in the finals, and this year neither of those two teams are present in our grand final. So one thing I have to mention is that Wellington Rugby League is producing some brilliant players for our young females. They've made the 16s and the 18s finals, and also their women's team is playing some outstanding footy in our national championship. So it's just good to see the talent down in Wellington on the rise and what they're doing down there. I do know that they've been trying to grow their local competition and bring the game alive down there, and they're very much doing that. And by producing these young women, they'll be able to go into their women's team, which I've seen. There've been a couple of the young girls move from the 18s and these 16s teams progress up into the women's grade, who are now doing well. So it's so awesome to have these opportunities to be playing in these national competitions, because it's a pathway, it's development, and it's a way for them to rise their level of footy and be playing some good footy against some good teams to then progress into the women's grade.
Hats off to the NZRL for promoting the game throughout the regions in the North Island and the South Island. This is a culmination of 3 days of action. We have had the under-16s final. Counties Manukau reigned supreme, and now we're counting down to the all-important under-18s clash. That is your Wellington Orcas under-18s team. Keep an eye on Maya Davis, the number 6. She is excellent with the ball in hand and relies heavily on some of her forwards, including Te Raukura Liafe, the number 12. Another superstar there for the Wellington Orcas as they prepare to take on the best from the South Island. The talk of the town have been the Scorpions in this under-18s clash. They haven't been shy at all in telling everyone here in Tauranga the reason they came up north was to try and win a title. That is what the Scorpions are trying to do as we welcome the victors of the under-16s team. They'll come forward for the silverware and for the medals. We can tell you that Asha Paul Williams, the number 1, has been announced the player of the tournament, the MVP. The best player throughout the tournament is the number 1 from Counties Manukau, and the player of the day in the grand final goes to Taylor Peters, the number 7 from Counties Manukau. And I'd hate to be a selector for some of those positions, certainly, but I pretty well guarantee they got it right this time. Here are your Scorpions. Come all the way from the South Island. You've got a point to prove. They'll go and rely heavily on some of their bench players as well. Kyra Lee Westland, she is the halfback. She's a crafty little player that has created headaches and havoc for the opposition. She combines very, very well with Celine Russell. She'll be running very fast off her shoulder, and they'll be looking for some of their bigger players as well to do their part. Isabella Grant, the number 9 from the South Island Scorpions, has been one of the best hookers we have seen so far in the tournament. It's a wonderful moment here in Tauranga to celebrate the victors, not just those that won the tournament, but also the Wellington Orcas, who were defeated 24-8, but they won the second half. They managed to keep Counties Manukau scoreless in that second half. So they showed grit and they showed spirit. And it's nice to see the players from both teams come together for their medals. They'll be celebrating all day long. I know the Counties Manukau players are heading back after this under-18s final. They'll be going back to Auckland. The Wellington Orcas will be flying out tomorrow morning. Get an opportunity to check out the sights of Tauranga. They'll be going to the beach. Mawao will be the star of the show. Mount Maunganui has been overlooking this tournament over the last 3 days. We've been blessed with the weather gods. A little bit of wind in the opening 2 days of competition, but now After 3 days of matches, we've come down to the final game of the NZRL National Girls Youth Tournament, and we will announce the national champions in the under-18s competition. Will it be the Wellington Orcas, or will it go back down to the South Island? Will they take the silverware away from the North Island? Only time will tell. The best two teams in the under-18s regional and Shante Puko, experienced coaches all over in terms of age groups. They'll be bringing their best foot forward. And the Wellington Rugby Orcas, coached by Charles Grubb and Luke and Ken Laban. There's a couple of rugby names clashed in the fans over the last few days. We're at the Arataki Sports Ground in Mount Maunganui. Over the last few days, we're at the Arataki Sports Ground in Mount Maunganui. This is the heart and soul of rugby league at the Mount. You've got the Ultimutai Rugby League fraternity over there, over the bridge in Tauranga. But right here, it is all about Arataki. I love their rugby league here in Tauranga, and hats off to the organisers of this National Girls Youth Tournament. Been ran really well, and New Zealand Rugby League have, as Crystal Rota mentioned before, serviced these players, treating Wahine Rugby League juniors like they're the best in the country. Preparing to get the 18s underway. Final bit of hydration for the Wellington Orcas. Billy Va'a is their number one. She's their fullback. Serena Toto, her and Wai Tui Cooper are the pacemakers out wide. The 6 and 7, Maya Davis and Jada Maniapoto, they have a really interesting combination. Some of the best 6 and 7 combinations that you see around the world, in the world of rugby league, especially in the NRL, are 6 and 7 work together as one position. And that's exactly what Maya Davis and Jada Maniapoto have done throughout this tournament. They are impressive in a 6 and 7 role, and they'll have to be at their best if they're going to take down this South Island Scorpions team, which are a team on a mission to take the silverware down south.
Oh, they would want to be taking it back down south, and it's so awesome to see a South Island team in this finals. And when you look at the calibre of coaches that both of these teams have, Charles Gubb, you know, Warriors player, Super League player, then you've got the likes of Shante Puko on the other side, I played Warriors alongside in Kiwi Ferns. So it's awesome to see, you know, ex-professional players come back and give to our grassroots and take our ladies through these grades and give them the advice, the leadership and everything, all the skills and tools that they would have learned in their careers, and giving back. I just love to see names like that pop up and see what they're doing for our game and for our future superstars of our game.
We feel very privileged to have Crystal Rota, 15 tests for the Kiwi Ferns, in commentary with us today on the final day of competition. Gee, this game has changed at this level since you were playing in the under-16s, under-18s. What's changed most from what you can tell?
I think the biggest thing that keeps on, you know, when I watch this game, obviously the physicality of the game is massive. And you think about even watching like the likes of NRLW, where these girls are probably aspiring to go to, the physicality comes from the fact that we're more aware around, you know, what's required to play good rugby league. And that's being in a gym, you know, that's all the conditioning and the endurance stuff that requires to be a good footballer and an athlete. And all these girls are getting all those tips now, things that back when I was young, we didn't know any of this stuff. We weren't taught any of this stuff. But everyone out here, like I said, these people that are coming back from professional spaces and professional athletes, they know how to give back to the game. They know what to teach these girls. They would have seen loopholes that, you know, weren't plugged, and now they can plug those. They can teach the girls what they need to be taught to play good rugby league. And it's very evident through this tournament. And even last year, I commentated last year this tournament, and you can just see the rise in these young ladies and what they're capable of at such a young age. You know, 16 years old, your body's still developing and you're still very young, but what they're capable of doing is definitely not what we were capable of when we were 16 and 18 years old. So you can imagine what these young ladies will be capable of when they're, you know, in their mid-20s, early 20s, what they'll be drilled into their head on how to play rugby league, the skills they would have picked up, their footy IQ that they would have developed over the periods of playing through these tournaments. So it's massive. I can't even really express how much the game has changed, because there's just so many changes. We're more aware around recovery, how to recover the body, especially in a tournament. You know, back then we'd be aching and and in so much pain, because we didn't really know much about having an ice bath. We didn't really know much about having Normatec boots. I don't even think they were invented way back then. So there's so much more awareness around everything in the high performance space now. And these girls get to reap all the awards of all our trailblazers of the game, all the ladies that have come through the grades over the years who have, you know, done all the hard yards and been a part of the game. So it's so exciting. I get excited to commentate young women.
Good advice there from Crystal Rota. If you're after some coaching tips or maybe some fitness backing, check out Crystal Rota Coaching. Pretty decent application, mate. I've seen it. It's very impressive.
Thank you.
That's the way forward. It is definitely the way forward, especially if you live in Tamaki and Makaurau. We're in Auckland. This is Tauranga. The kickoff comes from the Scorpions, running from left to right. Receiving the ball from the Wellington Orcas. Whanua Rimoni, the number 8. She loves possession. She's a big, strong forward. She's probably been the most impacting forward so far in this under-18s competition. She loves to get her hands on the ball. And you'll see some defensive prowess coming in here from the Scorpions. They will not want to let anyone through early in this game. What we saw yesterday from the under-18s Wellington Orcas team is they love to punish the opposition up front early. Testing the defence are the Orcas. Up to the task at the moment are the Scorpions. The Orcas with the ball, kicking on the 5th. The chasers are there. 6 players chasing through. Great bounce for the Orcas. Picked up lovely. Had to be shut down, and that is on the last tackle. What a great kick and a great bounce. I'm liking the chase also coming through from the Orcas. Take a moment to see. Hopefully nothing too severe early in this final. It's the final game for the under-18s. The national champion will be named. The Orcas in black and white. Oh, sorry, black and yellow. And the Scorpions from the South Island. They are in black and white. Receiving the ball from the kickoff was Whanua Rimoni. She is the number 8 there, you can see on screen. You watch her get involved in as much play as she possibly can. This is what we saw from the Orcas in the semi-final. Punishing defence. Moving up quick and hard. Letting the opposition know we are here to play. We are strong and we don't miss tackles. Not missing any at the moment. Some powerhouse defence coming in from the Orcas, including Kingston Taiapa. Riana Liafa-Paki, the number 9. She's hungry in defence and she's hungry in attack. Going down the left-hand side, cut-out pass. Looking for the runner to come forward. That time, Amalia Tiatia could not get to the ball and surrendering possession early. A few nerves coming in from the Scorpions.
Yeah, I think she could see some space there, some opportunity down on that left edge. Try to throw the cut-out pass, but unfortunately just floated a bit forward. But look at this.
Shazam!
The physicality of this game already.
Tahani Wateni says, anything you can do, I can do better. She comes in and smashes her opposing player. Blistering defence. That there is Rimoni. She'll make yards every single time she gets the ball. Gone are the days in terms of conditioning at this level of rugby league where your 8s and your 10s aren't fit. Every single one of these players are exceptionally well conditioned in preparation for this final. They opt to go down to the right, but it goes through the hands of Jaila Vanalo. Couldn't pick it up off her feet. The distribution wasn't that clean. When you got your forwards coming through, you've got to try and pop it up to the chest. That one got away and Vanalo put it to ground. They can breathe a sigh of relief. Can the South Island Scorpions. And no rush to put the ball in at this stage. 25-minute halves. We may stop the clock occasionally if there's an injury, but there'll be a 5-minute halftime break. Not a lot of time to eliminate the errors and the nerves. Just 25-minute halves for this under-18s girls rugby league national final. It all comes down to 50 minutes of play. Who's prepped the best, who wants it the most. They bring it out through Kyra Lee Westland, their halfback. He's a strong runner. Good defence from the Orcas. They move up as one. One team, one dream coming through from Wellington. Ball in all tackle, trying to force the mistake. Little area of concern there for Riana Liapapaki, the number 9. She's a hungry player. She gets involved in just about everything. Not shy in making a tackle. Pretty decent number 9, that one.
Yes. Excited to see the battle of the number 9s in this game. A few stoppages already in the game. A couple of errors creeping in nice and early. As you said, it's only 25-minute halves. You don't really have time to be playing catch-up footy. You want to try and get points on the board early. You don't have time to catch up, and we've witnessed that in our game prior with the 16s finals.
Strap it up, get the ice spray out, give it a spray. They need her out there. She is one of their orchestrators. One of the best defenders coming out of the under-18s Wellington Orcas is Liafa Paki. She also has plenty of conversation, which Crystal Rota, as a former number 9 for the Kiwi Ferns, you know you've got to have the chat with the number 9 on your back.
Oh, yeah, you definitely do, yeah. Got to be able to direct your team around, get your forwards going forward, get some momentum through the middle to then allow for your halves to take control on the edges. So it is a very important position in the number 9 spot, but you do a lot of defence as well through the middle, so it's about getting the balance of not doing too much defence where you're drained come attack and you don't have any attacking ability, but also being there as well to help out your props through the middle. So it is an important position, but just as everyone else, it's a team sport, so everybody needs to be playing their role and doing their part, and that's where successful teams come, is where everyone plays in unison and connects well and plays together.
Scoreless so far in the first half of this under-18s national final. The best opportunity that the Wellington Orcas have had so far, just 20 metres out and one tackle in. Tackle's falling off. Went for the offload on tackle number 1. Appreciate the opportunity to go for it, Maya Davis. She likes to pop one out late, but on the first tackle, she may regret that one later in the day. The Scorpions with the ball. Tackle number 2. This has been the best defensive effort we have seen so far throughout the day from the Wellington Orcas. Not only are they not missing tackles, but their defensive structure is on song. Scorpions need to make some yards. There's nowhere up the middle, so they go to the fringes. Was that one knocked down? Our referee says play on and 6 to go. That's what our touch judge called anyways. The 6 more tackles. That one held off the left hand and well picked up as a knock-on. That is an error from the Scorpions. The referee said that the ball was played. Then after it was played, watch the left hand here. Yep, a little tap.
Yeah, try to scoop it up with the left hand, but unfortunately she stumbled it forward.
Another opportunity now coming off the scrum for the Wellington Orcas. They will regroup. They know what they want to do. They've practiced this 1,000 times before. Coming off the scrub in your own attacking area. Whether or not there's a set play, they might settle it first, or will they feed the backs? Here come the Wellington Orcas. Billy Va'a helps out a pack by pushing them forward. Nice and subtle at the moment from the Orcas. Looking to try and not make a mistake. Keep an eye on Litia Bulukako, the number 21. She likes to get involved. She's a deceptive player. Stacking the left-hand side of the Orcas. They go right. Good defence. Charging run. Great rugby league in this under-18s final. No way through the middle at the moment. That is Lukabella Natueri Ongli. Triple cutout pass. Brought in nicely. Keeping it alive are the Orcas. That's their theme at the moment. Look for the offload. Draw the defenders in. 6 defenders there from the Scorpions on the last tackle, and they breathe a sigh of relief on the back of some great defence from the Scorpions.
Oh, that was brilliant defence. All working together, getting up, pushing up. The contact has been heavy too. There's been some brutal contact from some of these ladies, but that's exactly where you want to be, keeping your opposition.
Natueri Ongli, the number 13 from Wellington, is involved in just about every single tackle. She wants to be top of that tackle count at the end of the day. Remedy tries to come in as well. Great tackling technique from the number 8 from the Wellington Orcas. The difference between the two sides at this stage, nothing on the scoreboard. Great defence from the Wellington Orcas, even when they're forced to cover on a slight break. Pinning the Scorpions down in their own defensive end. Scorpions desperate to try and get the ball up the other end of the pitch to put themselves in an attacking opportunity. Forced to kick within their own half once again. Ball finds its way between the two players. That's between Balikoko and Cooper. Good kick from the Scorpions. The sun's come out. This is on the back of several days of competition, and the Wellington Orcas look like they're struggling a little to get back on side so that they can provide some attacking flair. Conditions have been lovely for rugby league commentators, I can tell you that much. Some of these players, they wouldn't mind if there was a drizzle or a cool breeze coming through.
You can feel the heat, though. This is the kind of heat that's hard to play rugby league, and it makes it a little bit harder to breathe when you're under fatigue and trying to get a grasp of air. But the heat is getting pretty intense at the moment.
Mai Davis sends the ball down, retrieved by the Scorpions. Chasing of the ball is impressive so far from the Orcas. That is the message. Chase the kick. Whether or not we look like we're going to score a try, it doesn't matter. Let's keep them down at this end of the pitch. Wait for a mistake or an error. Maybe even a penalty. Another innocuous injury. Putting everything out there are these Scorpions players.
Number 17, Myra Levere.
0-0 in this final of the Under-18s Girls National Rugby League competition. It is South Island versus North Island. It is the Scorpions, made up of the South Island Under-18s teams, taking on the capital city, the Wellington Orcas. We will have a victor at the end of this. We will name the national champions for the Under-18s. Scorpions in possession. Plenty of players from the Scorpions calling for the ball. Where are the runners? Where's the yardage? Excellent defence up the middle, as per usual, from this Orcas team. Go with a decoy run first, trying to create a hole. Didn't look so pretty, but might have been effective for the Scorpions. And someone to take control of that attacking play. Who is it? Looking for a hole up the middle. Good defence once again from the Orcas. Nullifying just about everything is this Wellington team. Leaving it just for a kick. That one sent through from Kyra Lee Westland. That's a good chase as well from the Scorpions. Nothing separating these two sides at the moment, Crystal Rota. Great rugby league.
Yeah, the South Island team seem to just be a little bit disconnected, especially through their spine area. We know that they're capable of some good attacking play, but they just seem a little bit disjointed at the moment. Need to regroup, come back together. They've spent most of the beginning half of this game in their half, and the only way they've been down the other end is through kicks. So yeah, they need to just play the grind game, build a bit of pressure on this Wellington side, who have been in the opposing half most of the game, getting into good ball quite often. But going to be some massive defence here required from this Scorpion side.
Mai Davis sends the ball high. No problem under the high ball at the moment for the Scorpions. Pretty clean and showing they can take the high ball when necessary. No error that time. Just the second tackle for the Scorpions, making their way up the other end of the pitch. We haven't seen a lot of the Scorpions in their own attacking area. The Wellington Orcas have had 2 opportunities to try and convert into points, but that was shut down and nullified by the defence from the Scorpions. That there is inspirational stuff from the Wellington Orcas. Ngātuere Ongle has been the defender of the day. And sometimes you get rewarded when the defence is that good. Try and create an error. Scrum gets called in, and it will be a Wellington Orcas feed. Great opportunity for the side from Wellington. Get some structure in their play. A couple of breaths coming in as the scrum will be set. That defence has been so good from the Wellington Orcas, especially Lukabella Ngātuere Ongle, the number 13. She's been joined by Riana Liafa Paki, her number 9. They've created some havoc defensively and allowing their fast players like Balikako try and find some space. That looked better from Wellington.
Yeah, defensively, they're definitely winning the game, the Wellington side, and it's the defense that they are winning is they're really winning the wrestle, the groundwork that they're doing, trying to get the Scorpions onto their back. It's slowing down the play the ball, really making it hard for the Scorpion side to get out of their half. But then on attacking, they haven't really quite capitalised on the possession that they have had. They haven't really executed much, and we've had a couple of injuries from the Scorpions team, unfortunately. Another one down here. Not something we ever want to see in our game.
A low-scoring match in this women's final, under-18s here in Tauranga. These are your future stars of rugby league, showcasing their efforts and their ability. Earlier today, we featured the under-16s final between Counties Manukau and also the Wellington Orcas. It was the Counties Manukau team that reigned supreme, winning that one 24 points to 8. It's a pretty decent rugby league at an under-16s level. And now we're witnessing the creme de la creme of the under-18s here. These players 18 years and younger. Most of them at school. Some of them even 16 and 17. The quality of rugby league that we have witnessed has been absolutely outstanding. It has evolved over the years. And like Crystal also said, you can put that down to the development opportunities provided by the New Zealand Rugby League and valuing the efforts of wahine in sport. Warriors will be heading into the NRLW in 2025. There'll be plenty of these under-18s players that you are watching right now that will be putting their hands up to say, I can do it. Yet to score any points. A low-scoring match. Testament to some really good defence, which has been the talk of the town here at this tournament. Pasikalia Tuiatua, the number 17. She's on for Wellington. She's just made 2 tackles in a row. She'll line up, and believe me, she'll want to get a hat-trick of tackles if she can. Defensive structure, letting the Scorpions down a little. Their only option is to send one high and bringing it way into the half is Lydia Bulikako, the number 21, the reserve fullback that has had a whole lot of game time. She started in that number 1 role. Once again, Wellington in their own attacking half, just 2 tackles in. The defence from the Scorpions. Playing the patient game are the Wellington Orcas with ball in hand. Serena Doe helping out her forwards, coming in. And our referee says, you knocked that one on. No argument in terms of I need a clean play the ball. So the errors are creeping in, Crystal Rota, but you'd have to put that down to some powerhouse defence from both sides. The defence in this tournament has been remarkable. Yeah, I think it must be a focus in a lot of the provinces because it's been so evident through all the games, you know, that the technique of some of these young ladies is phenomenal. They're really learning how to wrestle and do the groundwork, something that you wouldn't usually see in the youth grades and even in the women's. It would more so be that you would see in the NRLW, but they're showing that in these grades, and it's putting pressure like this on the teams where they are forcing errors by doing such things. The number 14 there from Wellington, Courtney Terrell, moved up pretty quick, didn't play at the ball, but her intentions are known as a defender out there in the centres. She wants to move up fast, charging them back. Great defensive teamwork. Rugby league fans are applauding the efforts of this defensive unit from the Wellington Orcas. Regardless of what province or what team you follow, you got to appreciate a decent tackle. Another one coming in from Liafapaki. Oh, she has been working hard on defence. Look at the drive. They're all getting their shoulders in. They're all working in unison to drive the Scorpions back. Great defensive efforts. In the words of the great Jack Gibson, defence wins games. Coached the Parramatta Eels to 3 premierships in the 80s. And it was him that changed the face of rugby league and said, if you learn how to tackle, you're in a chance to win a game. And that's exactly what both sides are doing at the moment. Good chase that time from the Scorpions. They want to put defensive pressure on the Orcas. They want to force an error or a mistake or try and get a penalty. Haven't seen a lot of ball in hand in their attacking half from the Scorpions from the South Island yet. Wrapped up nicely. Kyra Lee Westland, the halfback. She's always pretty keen to go that ball and all tackle. supported by Manisha Seaback, her fullback. Good marker defence. Seaback gets up nice and quick. Charging her way through the middle. Luca Bella, Natueri Ongli. I love the look of that number 13. She does the hard yards. She gets stuck in when her teammates get tired. That's the inspirational stuff you need from a number 13 in rugby league. Just under 9 minutes remaining in this under-18s national final. No points to be scored yet. A spectacular display of rugby league. Just shows you don't need to score points to enjoy the footy.
Yeah, I'm actually really enjoying this game. It's so physical. They're good. They're forcing errors like this with the defense of the game, putting pressure on each other, and it's going both ways. It's a very even matchup. The error, I'll be interested to see what the error rate is from both sides. There's been a lot of drop ball.
That time Tyler Limmer, the number 18 from the South Island Scorpions, put the ball down, as Crystal Ruta said. It comes down and is testament to the defence. When you tackle hard consistently, you force the opposition to make mistakes. Here comes Remoni. Big, fast, strong and determined. Ball in hand now. They go to Maya Davis. She chucks the cutout pass. It was a beautiful delivery that time from Maya Davis. Found the support runner. The pass is good, but you've got to have someone running into the gap. You need a finisher. I'll tell you what, Maya Davis has had a couple of try assists throughout this tournament. None better than that one. She jigged to the right. She went to the left. Plenty of work still to be done. The Wellington Orcas strike first, rewarded for their defensive efforts, and they look pretty comfortable then with the ball in hand.
Yeah, very good try there by Billy Va'a, I believe it is. Like you said earlier, it comes down to the pre-work when it's scored on the edge as such. And like you said, Maya Davis has been working really hard there. She's creating opportunities and just getting on the outside of the defender. She really engages the line, takes the ball right into the line, draws in the defense and allows opportunities on the outside. But unfortunately, unable to get those extra 2 points.
Struck it well, just came down to the left-hand side. I think it was Maya Davis trying to pop that one over. So winning at the moment for Love, the Wellington Orcas. Take a look at this one again. You can watch it all day. There is Maya Davis. Jigs to the right, steps it into the left, draws 2 defenders. A delightful cutout pass, but Billy Va'a had to run to the gap, had plenty of work to do, took 2 defenders over the line with her to the number 1 from Wellington. And at this stage, just 6 minutes remaining in the first half, and the Wellington Orcas strike first. Interesting to see how the South Island Scorpions come back from that. The Orcas will receive the ball. Great kick to find the bounce from the kickoff. Loving that from the Scorpions. Great to see a kicker chasing it and also making the first tackle. That's Manisha Seaback, the number 1 from the South Island. Calling in the changes at the moment are the Scorpions. Taryn McClatchy, the number 22. Small in stature, big in heart. She'll come out there and make as many tackles as you'd expect from any other player. Still willing to go up the middle. That time compliments of Tuiatua, number 17. Never shy to take the ball up. Man, she is going to be sore tomorrow. Natueri Ongli. She'll need a nice bath out of everyone, I think. She makes the tackle, she charges. That's Davis. Goes across to the left again. Pressure on. Great timing with the kick. Smashing tackle. Jada Maniaputu came in and lined it out. That was a very well taken bomb by the South Island. Under pressure and did well.
Yeah, you see some flying defence here from the Orcas. They're just flying from all over the place. Defensively, they've been outstanding in this game. And like you said earlier, Lavinia, defence win games. Got a penalty here. This is probably just what the Scorpions need. I think she just held on in the tackle just a little bit too long.
Yeah, I think the referee said that Liafa Pake was just a little bit too involved in the play the ball, forcing the error from her opponent, ordering Mitchell, but the referee said not allowed to do that. Great opportunity here. I'll tell you what, the Scorpions would love to head into the halftime break, which is just 4.5 minutes away. levelling up the scores. Looked like the ball came out there in the tackle. Once again, the shoulder defence that you've been talking about, Crystal Rota, is paying dividends for the Orcas. That technique was outstanding and forced the ball loose from the ball carrier.
Oh, they're getting their shoulders right in there defensively, and that's so important, you know, making that contact, that first up contact that they're making. They not only, if she had regathered that ball, it would have been a knock-on anyway, but just the brutal defence here of the Orcas. Actually, it's been both sides have been defensively strong, and it's been forcing all these errors and these drop balls from the constant impact.
Rugby League fans, we are hoping you're enjoying the coverage. It's the National 18s final. Wellington Orcas already up 4 points to love with just 3 minutes remaining. They've got a taste of victory, got a taste of the lines. Just the first half. We'll have a 5-minute halftime break. We'll go pretty quickly, just like the match has been going. Paki receives the ball, sends it left, finds support from Vanialo. Good yards from Vanialo, and also up to the challenge was the defence. Rimoni, 4 players in front of her. Great leg speed, great leg power is the number 8 from the Wellington Orcas. Passing on the outside, the offload was sensational. Plenty of work to be done that time from Vanalo. Isn't it great to see a forward set up a try for a forward? Don't leave it up to the halfbacks, mate. You don't need them.
Yeah, that was a good foundation that was set. But it's also good delivery, good ball delivery as well. Because when you've got a good pass from the hooker, good tip on there, just great team effort from the Wellington side. They've been playing so good. They're finally getting their attacking nous about them heading into the second half. Probably something their runners come out and sort of said, let's get our attacking nous that we've had throughout the tournament that we've been playing with. Let's bring that into this grand final, something that's been working for us. Let's put that on display in this game here today.
Jaila Vanalo gets a name on the scoreboard. The 2 points can be added also for the Wellington Orcas. As we approach the halftime break, the Orcas in this National Under-18s Girls Rugby League final leading 10-0 against the South Island Scorpions. The difference between the two sides in the opening 15 minutes of the first half was some powerhouse defence from both sides. In the end, possession is certainly coming towards Wellington's way through their defensive efforts. Just over a minute and a half remaining in the first half. Wellington will receive the ball from the Scorpions. Scorpions will be looking to regroup to hopefully see what's going wrong. They're actually not doing too much wrong indeed, apart from the fact that the former Kiwi Fern, Crystal Rota, mentioned that on attack did not look as structured as the Wellington Orcas. How good is that kick?
That's what they need right before half-time. Good attacking opportunity and good ball. Need to execute something here, the South Island team. I know they've got it in them. They've got great coaching staff that would have been drilling them with some good shape. This is their first attacking opportunity and good ball. It's only 50 seconds to go in this first half. Prime opportunity for the Scorpions. Bring themselves right back into this game if they can score here. Just going one off the ruck at the moment. Could be pulling the defence in to create an opportunity on the outside if they can shift it wide enough. Defence of Orcas too good there. Shooting up and creating pressure, putting pressure on this Scorpion side.
That's the difference between the two teams. The pressure mounting from the efforts of the Wellington Orcas and the mistakes creeping in from the South Island Scorpions. Plenty of rugby league to be played. 25 minutes will decide the national champions at the moment. The Wellington Orcas in the hot seat, 10-love over the South Island Scorpions. But as we have seen so many times throughout this tournament, that score will change and can change very quickly indeed. Stay with us. We'll be back shortly. Don't go anywhere. In 25 minutes, we'll announce.
Pertec. We understand that our customer needs their plant and equipment up, running and available 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Using only world-class product from the likes of Bridgestone and Yokohama, there is no compromise for your valuable machines. Our attention to detail and precision is second to none. It's this customer experience that separates Pertec from the pack. Pertec, we'll keep you operating.
Kia ora. Let's get you ready to go out there and have an epic rugby league game. But first things first, let's have a A simple warm-up is a game changer. Not only will it improve your performance, but it will reduce the chances of you getting an injury. And if you want to skip the sore muscles, don't skip the cool down. Now, tackling is a big part of the game, so don't cheat on the technique. A good tackle technique will help keep everyone safe. Collisions happen all the time, so it's important to know how to spot a concussion and what to do if it happens to you or a teammate. Sweet as, have a then go get into it.
This is some story right here! It's an absolute feast!
E tangata whenua Aotearoa e tū, e te tai tokerau e tū, Hokianga kuku e tū. New Zealand stand up, this is our time.
Just 25 minutes remaining to announce our national champions in women's under-18s rugby league. The Wellington Orcas up against the South Island Scorpions. A 10-0 lead at the moment to the Wellington Orcas, dominating proceedings at the back end of that first half. And I know they've got 10 points on the ball, but I was just chatting with Crystal Rota, the former Kiwi Fern and also representative of the Women's Warriors and Newcastle Knights, about how impressive the defence have been from the Wellington Orcas. It must be so hard to teach someone to tackle like that.
Yeah, it's. I think the hardest part, tackle technique one-on-one, is probably a lot easier to teach, but what we're seeing in the dual contact, the tackling in numbers, that's a lot harder to teach because it comes down to working collectively, and that's a lot harder to teach because, you know, sometimes you approach a tackle, you get a one-on-one, someone else comes in, or you come in together, you just wipe each other out, so to speak. So what we're seeing from these young girls is, you know, is the dual contact, working together, getting in numbers, driving players back, and it's really, it is really something hard to teach in rugby league. But what these young ladies are capable of now is phenomenal, because it's something that they'll be able to take into the women's grade in future, and something that they're going to do, and that they'll go for people that are in the women's space already that haven't had the years of playing in these junior grades. These young girls will go up and be able to teach some women on how to tackle as well, and that's what we love to see. That's what it's all about, is helping each other out. It's such a helpful community and a sport that we all love so much.
The second half is underway. 25 minutes to announce our national champions. From left to right are the Wellington Orcas. Charging with the ball are the South Island Scorpions. I'm allowed to ask you these questions, Crystal Rota, because you're a coach. You coached Papakura to a title. Well done.
Thank
What
you.
do the Scorpions need to do to try and get back in this match?
Well, to be fair, the scoreboard doesn't really reflect the type of game it's been, because it has been a game of a lot of errors from both sides and a lot of defence from both sides. You know, it's been back and forth, error for error, a lot of hard defence. So I think it's more about staying in the grind, lifting their chins and keeping their head high, because the 10 points doesn't show lack of effort from their side. It's not like they're doing anything badly, but they just probably need to get some go forward as they are here. This is probably what we want to see more of, is shifting the ball a little, getting out to the edge like they are here. Unfortunately, a forward pass. But yeah, it's definitely been a good game from both sides, and it's not from lack of trying from the South Island team. I know that they can definitely bring themselves back into this game, but what's been holding them out is some brilliant defence from the Wellington Orcas.
Looking enterprising at that stage was the left-handed attacking edge of the South Island Scorpions. The forward pass was called from the touchy just in front of us. Got the eyes on the ball. Nice that the referee has the assistance of the touch judges. Enterprising stuff, though, from the South Island Scorpions. They've had the Oranges at half-time. Quick 5-minute break. All the kōrero coming in from their coaches, letting them know what they need to do and what they really have to do to try and take out this national title. Plenty of fans here at Arataki Sports Ground here in Tauranga. Great 3 days of competition. Wonderful rugby league on show, showcasing the best young women's players from across the country. Now vying to keep the title for the under-18s in the North Island are the Wellington Orcas. Inspirational stuff there from Kuhoi Lemusu, number 10 from the Wellington Orcas. Charging runs at the moment. Easy meters at the moment early in the second half. That time, Tai Apa, the number 15. Here comes Vanalo, our try scorer from the first half. She was snuffled and kept off the line impressively. Remuni sees the line. Great pass. We've seen her do it about 10 times throughout the tournament. Gave her a bit of a rap before the game. And hanging out to call that one. I knew she'd get there in the end. She's such a dangerous player. I love her attitude to the game, and that close to the line with that delivery from Paki is almost impossible to stop.
Oh, she's just aggressive in her mannerisms and how she plays. She's a very strong ball carrier, obviously, but when she's got the ball in hand, she runs with so much aggression. It's quite intimidating as a defender to be defending someone who plays like that. So, you know, I'm not surprised that she's scored. She's been laying the foundation for this Wellington side. But as you said, you know, good ball delivery from Paki, but she's been giving good ball delivery this whole game. And you need that from a hooker. You need good, clean passes. And that's exactly what she's delivering to her middles.
I think Riana Aliafa Paki has had the best distribution in terms of being a hooker in this competition that I've seen in a very long time. She works hard, as you have to in that number 9, to get to the ball as soon as you can. But the distribution and the delivery is so important. And just the timing of that pass from Paki. I mean, the points will go to Whanua Remoni, the number 8. She had to charge over the line. But the try assist goes to Liafa Paki. That is exactly what the Wellington Orcas wanted to do early in this second half. They extend their lead from 10-0 to 14-0 with a kick at hand, waiting for Maya Davis to line it up, but also to make sure that our player injured gets a little bit of attention under the posts. A few of the injuries creeping in. We haven't seen a lot of injuries throughout the tournament, but this is the final match on the back of 3 intense days of competition. It's been great for Tauranga's economy to have this NZRL National Girls Youth Tournament here. Since plenty of the players out and about, out around Mount Maunganui and Tauranga, enjoying the sights. And they regroup under the sticks at the moment. That's exactly what the Scorpions need to do. They could not stop Whanua Remoni from crossing the line. You get the feeling the side that was going to score the first try early in the second half will definitely have the upper hand. Back to the scoreboard for the Scorpions. Where will they go? What do they need to do? They need to get the ball up the other end. They need to try and shut down the plays. It was unfortunate on the back of a forward pass from the Scorpions that looked like they were attacking quite well down the left-hand side of the field. The medics still trying to ascertain how bad this injury is, whether or not we need to bring a stretcher out and take the player off so the final can continue.
Yeah, I'm not sure if it's an injury. She might have maybe a little bit of a concussion, because she's sprung up to her feet. Doesn't look like an injury. It might be more of a head knock, which she tends to take more caution with.
Get a little bit of an assessment on the sideline, I think. Well done, Lofisu. Sending her good wishes. If you're a family member from the South Island of hers, we'll try and keep you up to date to how she is. But she's been very well cared for by the medics that have been providing their services for this tournament over the last 3 days in Tauranga. Here we go. Maya Davis lines it up in front. Now, I'm not a goal kicker, but I reckon I could throw that one over. What do you reckon? Yeah. Goal kicker? Do much goal kicking in your time,
No,
Crystal?
never. I'm not a goal kicker.
No, you're a cup of tea. That's why we see such admiration for some of these players, including in the under-16s. Taylor Peters, wow. That halfback from Counties Manukau. She could shoot it over.
Oh, she could be a goal kicking coach with the one she was slotting over from the sideline.
She could teach us.
Yeah.
She might be able to teach us. You were watching the under-18s NZRL final. We're in Tauranga. Live action thanks to Stream Shop and the relationship with NZRL, promoting the Wahine game at a junior level. How proud we are to be representing and bringing this sport to you wherever you are watching across Aotearoa. Under the pump is the South Island Scorpions. Still 20 minutes remaining in the half. Plenty of rugby league to be played. You get the feeling if the Scorpions are in with a chance to take out this national title, they would love to score first. They need an error, they need a mistake, and providing that early are the Wellington Orcas. So that is exactly what they wanted.
That's the result they wanted off that kickoff. I think one thing collectively for the Scorpions, their spine need to come together. Have seemed a little bit disjointed from previous games that they've been playing. So for those who don't know what the spine is, those are the halves, your hooker and your fullback, the ones that generally are directing your team around the park. And obviously your fullback is directing from the back, especially defensively, getting your numbers right and sending defenders into the right places. So if the spine can sort of pull themselves together collectively and create some opportunities, the Scorpions team could score.
Mr. Roger, I'm not just saying this because you spent a decade playing many tests for the Kiwi Ferns, but the number 9 position has really evolved in the last decade in rugby league. I think that position in the spine has become more creative, more of a distributor, more of an organiser, almost like an extra half.
Yeah, it has. Your kind of job now, or the expectation of your hooker, is to control the middle third of the field, get your forwards going forward, and then obviously then sending your ball out to your halves towards the back end of a set. So they're a lot more heavily involved now, the hookers, and they're kind of who's controlling the middle third of the field.
South Island Scorpions looking to score early in the second half. The line isn't too far away, maybe just half a metre. The pass was off, the defence had moved up fast, and it's nullified and shut down once again by the Wellington Orcas.
Yes, the Wellington Orcas defence, as we keep talking about, just working so hard, working together, getting shoulders in, and that's really hard to create opportunities, I guess, when you're an attacking player. It's very hard to execute when you've got defence right up in your face, putting pressure on you. Just it creates errors, creates doubt and things, so it's very hard to do anything. But I can't fault the Scorpions defence either. They've really been trying hard, defensive efforts and trying to get in there and force errors on the opposing side. But yeah, this Orcas side are definitely well drilled defensively.
What we've seen from the Wellington Orcas in this under-18s division in the second half, the number 14, Courtney Tyrrell, injects herself into the game. I'm not saying she holds back in the first half, but she just seems to create havoc in the second half. So keep an eye on the number 14 from the Wellington Orcas. On the back of some impressive field kicking as well. Don't underestimate the ability to have a decent field kicker that can get you into position and get the opposition defending way back in their area. That's something that has been beneficial for the Wellington Orcas on the back of Maya Davis being one of their field kickers, and also Jada Mania Potu as well. The kickers have served them very well indeed. The South Island Scorpions in possession, trailing this final. Just over 17 minutes remaining by 16 points. More of that, says the fans. Aki loved that one. She even put a fist in the air to celebrate with her teammates. Like, I can do it, you can do it as well. Punishing defence. A pleasure to watch in terms of the value of rugby league is this defensive effort from the Wellington Orcas. And it's defensive pressure like that that makes the opposition make mistakes and sets yourself up for a scoring opportunity.
Yeah, they've definitely created so much pressure through their defensive efforts. But you spoke of the likes of Courtney and Maya Davis. They're players from last year that I remember commentating, and they were playing some really good footy as well. Both made the New Zealand resident side that was selected last year. Now they come through again, lifting another level from last year and what the footy they produced last year. And you need players in your team like that. They'll be inspiration for some of the younger girls amongst their side. They'll look to those players, those leaders, to guide them, get them around, and that's exactly what they're doing.
Here comes Remuni. No surprise that the try scorer draws attention of 4 or 5 defenders when she receives the ball close to the line. Lovely pop-up ball that time from Maya Davis. Bulakako taken down by the defenders. Plays the ball nice and quickly. Forwards doing their part as well. Plenty of options for the Orcas at the moment. Will they go left or right? Stacking down the left at the moment. Our referee said not allowed to play the ball that way. No, involvement in the play. Not allowed to play the ball illegally. So possession will go back to the South Island Scorpions. What a time. I tell you what, the Orcas looked hot to trot then. I thought they were going to send it down to the left where there looked to be 3 overlaps.
Yeah, it was looking a bit threatening there.
Breathing a sigh of relief. Trailing by 16 points. Going to make the kick for the sideline now. This is very important that it reaches the side. Step number 1, kick the ball out, which it nearly didn't. Fortune favours the brave occasionally.
Luck of the bounce in that instance.
So they managed to find the sideline. 25-metre advantage there for the Scorpions. This is an attacking opportunity still within their own half. Will they turn to some of their forwards to try and bring the ball up? Or is the defence just too good and too strong up the middle? They try and maybe go a little bit wider of the ruck, maybe 1 or 2 phases off the ball, to see if they can work their way around the middle defenders. They seem to be able to defend all over the pitch, the Wellington Orcas. They decide to go wide. Shat Zam, 1-on-1 tackle. More of that from Billy Va'a, says her Wellington Orcas teammates. Ngā Tuere Ongli, the number 13, should be pushing the top of the table count, I reckon, for tackles. She gets involved again. Shoulder comes in, punishing defence, letting the opposition know we are strong and determined. Oh, an off pass. That time the charges come through. Might be paid to suffer for this one. What a sweep from Tyrrell. On the first tackle, passes it on the inside. I think it may have come off a Scorpions player. It should be a Wellington feed. Great play from the Orcas.
Oh, it was a great play from the Orcas. One thing with the Scorpions side, they're sending their runners up by themselves, and it's just easy picking as a defender. You can see that she's going to be running it up. That's why they're getting, the girls are getting up and getting good contact on the individual runners, because they're obviously not going to pass it to anyone. So you're not put in 2 minds about anything. I'm going straight for her and I'm going to tackle her because she's the only one that's a threat right now. If they have some support runners running on the inside or the outside, it puts the defense in 2 minds. But at the moment, Wellington are just like, I know she's running, I'm just going to hit her, and that's what's happening for the Scorpions.
Gee, she was close to the line, maybe centimetres short was Remuni. She got up and played it quick. I liked her attitude. She wasn't greedy, and she knew if she played it quick and get it one off the ruck, then there's an opportunity for her teammate to score, and this time the honours go to Kingston Taiapa, the number 15. I did love the way Rimini got up and played it really quick. Didn't argue with the referee in terms of I was close to the line. No need for that. She knew she'd have the support players that would come through.
Yeah, for her, she obviously had the ball in 2 hands as she went into the line. A little bit of a shimmy and dummy on the outside and went herself. But, yeah, it's been very tough going for the South Island side. And to be honest, the Wellington side have really been capitalising on all the errors that they have been making. Any opportunity that they've had, they've sort of been taking it with two hands, and this has been the result. 4 tries now for the Orcas.
Maya Davis strikes it delightfully as the Wellington Orcas race away to a 22-0 lead in this Under-18s National Girls Rugby League final. They're up against the South Island Scorpions, who are yet to score. Don't be taken away by the scoreboard. It's been an outstanding performance from both sides. We didn't have any points scored, in fact, until the 12th minute of the match. And that's when the Wellington Orcas decided to lift their game defensively. It's been a masterclass performance from some of their defensive players. In fact, they have, as Crystal Rota, the former Kiwi Fern, mentioned, they've defended like a team. They play for each other. They show faith in each other. There's something going on in the water in Wellington. They made it through to the final in the under-16s, dominating the final in the under-17s, under-18s. And it just shows you that the pathways and the support network down there, wherever it's coming from, it is working. Good D from the Scorpions. Inspirational stuff. The fans are on their feet, come from all over the country to support the South Island and also Wellington and this under-18s final. It's the best of the best in young women's rugby league from across the country. Kingston Taiapa there, willing to get her hands on the ball, and the yards are just coming that little bit too easy for Wellington.
Oh, a bit of a forward pass. Yeah, they were marching up the field, getting quick play the ball, getting on either side of the ruck, just generating good momentum, this Wellington side, getting some strong carries from their middles. But that's where the connection comes into play, that you can see the connection, you can see the communication from the hooker, directing, telling them where to go, where they need to be. And it needs to be a collective effort right across the board.
It will take a massive effort from the South Island Scorpions team to try and fight their way back into this under-18s National Rugby League final. I can tell you what, they're spirited and they have the support as well. Looking for some opportunities, maybe a hole to be created, which is very difficult when you have a wall of defence that work as a team like this Wellington Orcas. If you love your rugby league, you will be enjoying this display indeed. It has been outstanding from both sides. So often we get to say that defensively a side dominates and that's how you win the match, but that is what has been happening. Keeping the South Island scoreless at the moment. Scorpions in black and white on the right-hand side of your screens. Moeda Fetu with the ball, steps off the right, steps off the left, sees the line, reaches over, falls short, great tackle, Baliakako. They go to Seebeck. She draws in 2 defenders. What a way to stop a runner. Maya Davis, take a bow. Maybe a little shy off the hand that time. I'm not sure if the referee picked up on the first one. I'd say that the referee picked up on the second one.
Yes. It was so open there in the middle for a try opportunity, but this was a brilliant break here. Got through about 4 or 5 defenders, but not really much support alongside her. No one running off her to, give her an option to even pass when she did make that break. And that's probably one area they're really lacking in is their support play. The Scorpions need to be next to your sister, need to back her up, need to support her and put the defence in 2 minds. Don't allow her to go by herself.
I'm still sore from Maya Davis's tackle, and she didn't even tackle me. One-on-one tackle from the number 6 from the Wellington Orcas. Supreme effort to inspire her team to try and not allow the Scorpions to get any points, to get any ball across the line. Look at the runners and the callers coming in from the Orcas. Everyone in the team wants a piece of the action. Kuhoi Lamusu charges her way over the halfway mark. Come down the right-hand side. That's Maya Davis. She kicks. Tyrrell's running through. Number 14. Will they get the ball back? Regathered nicely this time. That was favoured to Samiolu, the number 14, from the Scorpions. With just 8 minutes remaining in this under-18s final, the Scorpions are starting to show some signs of fatigue. Just about all of the bench has been used at the moment. bringing on some of their younger players, but some of their bigger forwards are struggling to find their way back on side. And that is testament to a great run there from Madison ordering Mitchell. Sorry, Umunga Vaela. Apologies on your name. Feeding the backs are the Scorpions. Nice stepping on the inside. I like the way she runs, Moira Fetu. She can step left and right, sometimes a little wasted on the right-hand side. Scorpions build it up, setting the platform. That there is their halfback, Kyralee Westland. Running out of tackles, running out of time. The Scorpions need points. The defence is too good. The kick, not so effective, and snuffled once again by the Orcas. No answers at the moment for the Scorpions.
Yeah, they can't seem to come up with any answers. The Scorpions, just having the one-off runs, it's not really creating opportunities. Not really any support runners. Can see on defence though, you know, they're pointing, identifying who the runner is and getting up, but then on the flip side, come attack, they're not really creating any opportunities for themselves.
It has been a slick performance from this under-18s Wellington Orcas team. They came here as one of the hot favourites, not shying, announcing to the world that they want to return with a national title. They've worked hard, tirelessly, in fact, over the last couple of weeks to try and get the team together from all over the district and city to form a representative side that would be competitive at this national titles for Junior Women's Rugby League. They are far from competitive. They have been absolutely dominant. Just 6 minutes remaining in the match. And the display of teamwork from some of their key leaders and key players has been outstanding from this Wellington Orcas team. Enjoy the last 6 minutes of this match. Enjoy the defensive prowess from so many of these Orcas players and the spirit and never say die from the South Island Scorpions. More of that from the Scorpions. The fans are animated. The voices are out. I think that the referee, not sure if they said that was a lost ball or whether or not the ball was taken out of play, and the referee says you're not allowed to do that 2-on-1 tackle. Referees have done a sterling job over the last few days.
Yeah, great referees. Got to give it up for our referees. They come in, do a job. It's not an easy job. Get a lot of back chat from everyone, but they get out here doing their job and doing a great job at that. So big ups to our touchies, our match officials and our referees who allow our great game to be played and enjoyed by everyone.
The Scorpions may have an enemy of the clock, but they'll be playing for pride. What they want to do is get some points on the board. They've got a great fan base here. I can't believe how many South Island fans are here in Tauranga to support their under-18s team. They want to reward their fans and those watching our live coverage in the South Island with some points on the board. Nice little throw on the outside and run on the inside. Impressive play. That time from Lafoya. She plays the ball. They go to the middle. Holding the ball up, trying to find a way through that brick wall of defence. There's been no way through so far in the match. I can't imagine there'd be a way through there now. Where are the other options? Reaching, stepping. Rewarded for a tremendous effort that time. Suala Lafoa. She made a good charging run down the right-hand side before, and I thought she was great with the ball in hand. She deserved that try.
Yeah, you said they're going to be playing for pride, but they've managed to get themselves on the board here. Just a little bit of a step back on the inside. Good reach. And that's a good result for the Scorpions, who have been working hard this whole game. You can't fault their work ethic and everything they've been trying to do. Been unlucky not to get on the board, but here they are getting themselves a 4-pointer to finish with a lot more than pride, I guess, in this instance. It's been a very good game. I've really enjoyed watching this game. The physicality of it. The sportsmanship. It's not been an easy game for, obviously this Scorpion side, but they've played hearty, they've played well, and they've played with fairness, and you can't ask for much more, especially when you're not winning on the scoreboard. As long as you can keep that about you, you'll be winning for sure.
Says a lot about a side trailing 22-0 with 4 minutes remaining in a final to come back and score. So a never say die attitude is being applauded here by the South Island Scorpion fans. The display of rugby league has been absolutely fabulous from both sides. In fact, the whole tournament has been incredible. Young Wahine showcasing their ability to play great rugby league in attack, in defence. More of that to come. So thank you to the NZRL for providing us with this opportunity.
2 points to 4 to Wellington. In this
The South Island are on the board.
Wellington
Wellington leading 22-4. We're in the final 2.5 minutes of the match. The Wellington Orcas will kick off. Usually get about 90 seconds for a set of 6. So the South Island Scorpions will receive the ball. I get a feeling they might chance their arm. Who knows? There might be a couple of kicks and then a chip over the top. Who knows, Crystal? We don't know what's going to happen.
It's been one of those tournaments. It's a bit unpredictable with what's going to happen.
Final 2 minutes of this under-18s girls National Rugby League final. Wellington Orcas up against that team there, the South Island Scorpions. No surprises that Liafa Paki is involved in that tackle. She has been heavily involved in several tackles throughout this match, and it's glorious to watch. Scorpions not giving up. Tackle number 3. Here's the support players. Now they're making the yards, looking for an offload, but again, a ball and all tackle. Shutting things down to Haniwatene. The marker defence has been outstanding from the Orcas. So fit, so strong. The conditioning from both sides has been applauded as well. As you would expect in a national final. Nice little dart that time from Isabella Grant, the number 9 from the South Island. Can they score 2 in a row? Under a minute remaining. Quick hands, they go out to the left. Good, strong legs, cut out pass, option on the inside. I like the idea, still keeping it alive. It was the ball carrier, reaches across the line. Take a bow. South Island Scorpions. Wow, Mua charged early in the set. How about never giving up on the play and always backing up the ball carrier?
Oh, exactly. And this is what I was talking about, playing to the final whistle. And that's exactly what the South Island team are doing. More, she was also one of the players that made the New Zealand resident side last year. So she's not shy of talent, this young lady. Be a definite future star in the rising. So I've got to give it up to the Scorpion side. They've never backed down. They've continued to show up for each other, even through all the hard times of, some dominant defence from this Orcas side. They kept trying their chances, kept trying, and as a result, at the back end of the game, they've got themselves 2 tries. So awesome work from the Scorpions team.
Hats off to the South Island Scorpions. They've scored the last 2 tries in this under-18s national final. Under the pump with an impressive performance from the Wellington Orcas that raced away to a 22-0 lead. Nothing in the opening stages of the match, but eventually the powerhouse, punishing defence from the Wellington Orcas created some mistakes from the Scorpions. As Crystal Rulta mentioned, never say die attitude. We welcome that in the sport of rugby league. An opportunity to showcase themselves and also maybe try and snare a position in the tournament team. An under-18s tournament team will be named. We have a victor in this under-18s National Rugby League women's competition.
And that is your 18s girls final for 2024.
The Wellington Rugby League Orcas reign supreme against the South Island Scorpions. Celebrations coming in. The fans will be enjoying this one.
Congratulations, ladies. Great display of footy from both sides out there today. And it's exciting. I can't wait to see what both sides out there today. And it's exciting. I can't wait to see what these young ladies will do in the future of our game of rugby league.
Crystal Rulta, judging from what you've seen in this tournament over the last few days, how happy are you with women's rugby league at a junior level in our country?
Oh, I'm extremely happy. I'm extremely excited because, like we've talked about, with the Warriors coming back, we have, the NZRL have created opportunities for these young ladies to put their hands up, to be playing rugby league so that they can be looked at and, be a part of that system, be a part of that Warriors system, because currently we had players in, the Vulcans last year. Claudia Finau, for one, she was the Vulcans and she was also the tournament player of the tournament last year. She headed off this year to the Raiders to be a part of their system. That won't have to be done now with the Warriors coming back next year. So these tournaments create those opportunities and it's awesome to see.
And assisting us to put on this
That there is the under-18s champions for Women's Junior Rugby League. The Wellington Orcas have come out and defeated the South Island Scorpions in a spirited match. Great rugby league on show. I mean, you could actually say in the end rugby league was the winner. It has been over the last 3 days, showcasing some magnificent performances, and the quality of the sport on display has really shown that Women's Rugby League is heading in the right direction in Aotearoa when it comes to wahine at a junior level. A nice moment for the teams to come together as one. Awhi, a nice little cuddle and congratulations. Tell you what, it'd be hard-pressed picking a tournament team. I'm glad I'm not on that selection panel, and I wouldn't even want to pick the player of the tournament or even the player of the grand final. There's been so many efforts from so many players that have come forward to both make sure that their teams can be successful in their efforts to be national champions. But in the end, you can only have that one team that takes the silverware. And here in Tauranga, at the Arataki Sports Ground, at the end of 3 days of intense competition, in fact, it is the Wellington Orcas that are the best of the best, defeating Southland 22 points to 8. Thank you so much for your company, Rugby League fans. A shout out to Crystal Roza, the Kiwi firm. Thank you for joining us in commentary. Your insight has been outstanding.
Oh, always a pleasure. Lovely to be alongside you.
Really appreciate it. And for those of you that have been watching our coverage over the last few days, thank you for your company. I'm pretty sure you're just like Crystal and I. You've been enjoying the display of Rugby League right here, right now on your screen throughout the last 3 days. It's the future of Rugby League and the sport for wahine, and it is looking very good indeed. Congratulations to the Manukau team in the under-16s taking the title, and here in the under-18s, the best of the best, the Wellington Orcas. They'll take the title. Thank you so much for your company. Ka kite anō. Bye for now.